Hello and welcome back to our little slice of paradise. Today we're getting ready to go to Daleys Nursery, which is our local fruit tree nursery. And we're very lucky here because our local fruit tree nursery specializes in tropical fruit trees that are specific to our climate. For those that have been following along for a little while, you'd know that we're trying to get a food forest going on our land, and we're starting by filling out our hill. We have a big hill on our property, and we're hoping to have that filled with fruit trees that can sustain our family across a year, right? But there's a few holes in that hill that need filling. So today we're going to go and see what fruit trees we would like to get to fill up that hill with. We haven't really decided what trees that we want, but we know that we want some new fruit trees. So I just need to grab the last of my things and then we'll get in the car and hit the road. Oh, this is Daleys. You coming in?
What have you found, Mum?
The man behind you has a gigantic custard apple tree.
The
Custard apple envy, the guy behind you. This is a curry plant. You can use the leaves instead of buying curry powder. We could be using a curry plant.
That sounds fantastic.
Doesn't it? It says you can use the young shoots and leaves.
Cool.
Get one?
Yeah.
Low chill, deliciously sweet and crunchy apple.
I'm thinking a pink lady.
There's some big ones in the tree, look.
I can have it eat.
Well, we'd have to buy the tree to eat them. And pomegranate.
Would you like a pomegranate, Dulcie?
Yeah, I want to find out.
What's that one? Can you say it again? It's well suited to.
It's the lychee, so, well, I would really like a lychee, but
Yeah.
not all lychees are suited to subtropical. They're more tropical fruits. So we're looking at this one. This one says it's tropical and subtropical, so maybe it would perform better in our backyard. Just want to make sure we've got enough. Get the others.
Yeah.
Two more. Can I show you what we've
Yeah.
got? Okay, so we've got pink lady apple,
Mm-hmm.
muscadine grape,
Mm-hmm.
apple guava,
Mm-hmm.
a longan seedling, which is meant to be really good for subtropical environments, a bay tree for bay leaves, a curry tree for curry, a moringa tree, and this little cinnamon myrtle.
Lovely.
I don't know how much this is going to cost, but I'm hoping we can take all of these home. I'm so excited. We got all of the plants that we wanted. We got them like $70 off of the standard price. Oh wow, what is that?
That's a seahorse.
Oh, it
It lives
is.
in the water.
Lives in the water. I think you might be right. Now we just need to go and spend another $200 on compost and soil.
We've got some in the shed.
Oh, we do? Welcome back to Wallaby Hill. Before we dig in, let me show you some of the plants that we already have growing on our hill. First, we have the japoticaba, native to Brazil, and really interesting because it grows all of its fruit along the bark of the tree. It makes big black fruit that you can pick off. It's kind of jelly-like inside. It's delicious. People either love or hate the japoticaba, but I love it. Next we have our bananas. We eat a lot of bananas here at Wallaby Hill, so we've just transplanted some of the pups from these more established trees that we planted around 2 years ago and moved them out to create some more trees. We've got ladyfingers. Next down there is blue java, and the one behind that is a Cavendish. So all of the pups that are spread out, I don't know which is which, but eventually we'll have lots of different trees of those three varieties. This is the jackfruit. We've got 2 jackfruit trees on this property and they're both doing really, really well. These are going to be huge trees and they grow the largest fruit on earth. So I do love a bit of jackfruit. My family's not quite so sure, but I'm really excited for these trees to get really big and start producing something delicious. Here we have a plant that I'm really excited about. It's the cherry or strawberry guava, and I'm excited, one, because it's delicious, the most delicious guava variety in my opinion, but two, because it's fruiting. So we planted this, I think, only about a year ago, so it's still quite a little tree, but we've got so much fruit on here. It's going to be a really great first harvest, and I'm so excited to get all of those little fruits in my mouth. Another favourite of mine, the star fruit. This one has been slow to grow, and to be honest, we haven't really given it a lot of love, but it's got some new leaves coming through, which is a really good sign. Usually they take a little while to fruit, but I'm hopeful that this could be the season that we start to see some action. This is the sandpaper fig. It's a native tree and one of the first ones that Sam planted when we moved onto the property. It's growing really, really well. We haven't seen any figs yet. They grow these teeny weeny little figs that are very much a bush tucker food, but I hear that they're delicious and I can't wait to try one. This is what I thought was an elderberry bush, but has actually turned out to be an elderberry tree. It just gets bigger and bigger, and I've just noticed it's got its first berries on it. That's so exciting. This is a highly medicinal tree. You can turn it into all sorts of things for when you're sick and you need a little pick-me-up. So I'm, after we finish this video, going to go and harvest all those berries. That's so exciting, Sam. Yeah, I thought this was a bush when we put it in the ground, and it's just grown and grown. And I'm actually not sure how much bigger it's going to get. So it's the gift that just keeps on giving. Around 2 years ago, our friend Obi suggested that we should start burying the seeds and the bits of fruit that we have in our kitchen in our garden and just see what comes from it. So Sam did it for a little while. Nothing really happened. He didn't think much of it. Anyway, about a year and a half later, this forest of papaya trees just started coming up from the floor. Now we have probably about 15 plants. We've moved some of them around the garden. You can probably see in the background we've got one really tall tree that we planted when we first moved in. But the rest of these and any of the other smaller ones you see around the garden are all because Sam chose to bury the seeds that we'd got from the supermarket. So if you've got any seeds that need burying, chuck them in your garden. See what happens. You might also end up with a papaya forest. This is our black sapote tree. We planted this just after we moved here, after Tulsi was born. Tulsi's placenta is actually buried under this tree, which is probably why it's grown so well. This is the first passion fruit vine that we planted when we moved on the property. And you can see that it's grown somewhat all the way to the top of this palm tree. We have 5 passion fruit vines growing around our little section down here, but this is definitely the most prolific one so far. It's yet to fruit, but I think this should be the time frame for it to start producing fruit. Usually it takes a couple of years for them to really settle in, so hopefully this season we'll get something out of it. So Sam's thinking he'll plant the pink lady apple here, and then he's trying to figure out a spot for our moringa as well. Sam was just saying we had an avocado tree there before, but it died, unfortunately. It just got a bit too hot and dry and carked it. So we're going to try and put our curry bush here now instead, and that will be right next to our pink lady apple tree that we'll put here. Yeah, I think we could put one there. We've got all this kind of empty space on the other side of the hill here. What do we have left? We've got the longan. Apple's going there. So apple's going there. Longan go there. Oh, moringa could maybe go over the other side. So you've already seen that we have quite a few trees on our property, but we still have this empty space right in the middle of our big hill here where we can be putting more and more fruit trees. It's like some of the bushes that we have to go in this little middle section. We've only got 7 little plants to plant, so we'll see how far they go. We're planting our first tree, which is the curry bush. So hopefully this should grow into a nice big bush, a couple of meters tall, a couple of meters wide, take up some nice space on the hill.
Next one that's going in is this longan. We left it a bit too long. Got some little crispy leaves. Should be fine. Give it plenty of water. So the longan's like a hardier lychee, and it's pretty cold tolerant and better for sort of subtropics, which is where we are. So fingers crossed we get some beautiful longans out of it. I've actually never had a longan. Have you given me a longan?
You've definitely had longans.
I've definitely had longans.
Yep. Many, many times.
You heard it here first. There's some compost is just going in with the soil, the clay soil that was with it, just trying to give it a bit of a mix. We don't really know what we're doing too much. We just sort of kind of use what we know and just kind of go, let's see if it works. And I think the ones that we've killed commonly are harder to grow
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like avocado,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just very temperamental. And
Yeah. No, we've done quite well actually for the little research that we've done. I think we've got a bit of a whack it in the ground and see what happens mentality going
Yeah.
on. Next up we have our ladyfinger apple.
ladyfinger apple.
Oh, what are they? Oh,
You gotta lead it, boy. You got the lady right. Something lady. What lady is it?
a pink lady apple. Sam's now planting his pink lady apple. This is the one tree that he really wanted.
I just love the crispiness of an apple, and a pink lady delivers that.
So this is an apple guava. It's meant to be one of the hardiest types of guava that you can get, and guava is already pretty hardy. So we've put it the challenge of sitting right in the middle of the hill in full sun. We're expecting it to thrive. Apple guava supposedly grows one of the largest types of guava, and it should be super crunchy, around the size of an apple, perfect in salads or just by itself. You happy, babe?
I'm hot. I'm hot. Alright, so I'm hot and tired. But this is a beautiful tree and I can't wait for this one. It's the moringa tree. It's also known as the drumstick tree or the tree of life. I'm just reading this beautiful label here. I have absolutely no idea what a moringa tree is, but I've heard of it before and I'm really excited to use it and see what it looks like when it's in full flight.
We ate it a lot when we were overseas.
Yeah, I've heard the name so many times. And we've popped it in a spot where we think it can get lots of sun, but not too much sun, which can apparently damage the leaves a little bit. So hopefully this is a good spot. But again, flying by the seat of our pants, got no idea. So yeah, we'll see.
Here's our little bay leaf tree. Just the same bay leaves that you would normally cook with. Over this side of the garden we have our kind of native forest section, and this is where we've planted our cinnamon myrtle. She'll grow up to 10 meters tall and has the most amazing cinnamon scented leaves. And over here Sam's just planted our grape, which will hopefully grow all the way up and across this cute little fence we built a couple of months ago. So we've buried all of these plants in the hill, but there's still lots of space, so I guess the question for us now is, what do we do next?
Yeah, I'm asking that same question. We definitely need to fill up the rest of that hill because it absolutely looks magic when we get trees there.
Yeah, it does.
And it's going to look so good when they're all, fruiting and mature and yeah, it's going to look lush. And it means we won't have to whippersnipper the hill.
It's true, the grass grows really quickly here, and we actually hire a guy to come and whippersnipper our hill very regularly because the grass just grows so quickly. So personally, when I look at that spot out there that we've just planted, and it doesn't look quite as sparse as it did, and I feel like our dream that we had before we moved here of having a food forest, having enough plants to sustain our family, having our child grow up where he can walk outside and go and pick some bananas for us or some tomatoes for us or, different interesting fruits. It feels like that is becoming a reality, which makes me feel really warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah, definitely. I think we just take it step by step and 3 trees at a time and then...
Yeah.
But it's not looking too far away now. The hill is looking more and more like a forest in terms of there's not much space. We've got a few gaps still to fill. But we're probably only maybe 6 or 7 trees away. So 2 more planting sessions and we should have the hill ready to just grow. And we probably want to do it fast so then they all grow at a pretty similar rate. But
yeah, well, I don't want to wait for 20 years to get my first fruit off of the tree. So I had a really nice time planting with you today. Thanks for digging all those
yeah, what a
holes.
great day. It was so hot.
All right, until next time.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.